So, for my elevator pitch assignment, I decided to do the topic of plastic surgery since I feel like this is pretty controversial in today's society regarding like the effects of it, beauty standards being affected. Actually, I read on the American Psychology Association how much this has increased. So, the number of cosmetic surgeries has actually increased from 44%, and it's mostly like Botox surgical procedures, breast augmentations. So this kind of really factors in more women, I guess, than men. And there is like answers regarding psychological effects of this. So I thought it would be cool to look at like kind of through the lenses of utilitarianism, through the lenses of Aristotle, and through the lenses of Kant, how they would kind of take the idea of plastic surgery if they were alive in today's age. So, through the lens of utilitarianism, I split it up into Jeremy Bentham's idea and John Stewart's idea, since John Stewart's was like more of, I guess, like an edited, like past, like I guess modernized version of utilitarianism. So through Jeremy Bentham's like perspective, I feel like this is something that he might have like agreed with, since he says you should maximize pleasure and minimize pain. So for those that like aren't happy with their appearances, they really want to change something about themselves, this is where that would come into play. It's maximizing pleasure and minimizing the pain. And I don't think they'd really care about how it's affecting beauty standards, young girls seeing this, and like society as a whole, because his idea was more about the individual than the whole in general. And then for John Stuart Mill's idea, I said that he said to have equal consideration of others before you partake in something. So I feel like the idea of plastic surgery might not have been something that he fully agreed with, since if you're looking at the whole, you can kind of see how plastic surgery affects us as a society. It actually, not only will it affect people that are looking at these people getting plastic surgery, comparing themselves to them, but it's also affecting the people that are getting plastic surgery. Most people that get plastic surgery, again, in that same article, say that they have a history of anxiety or depression. So is this really fixing like that idea, or is it more like a band-aid method? So for Aristotle, he truly believed that you learn how to be virtuous and how to be morally good through like experience, through seeing someone, really as someone setting an example. So for me, I was thinking that like if all these like celebrities and women continue to be getting these like plastic surgeries, these young girls that haven't had that yet, we're just gonna like increase that amount of like anxiety and depression, and that's what they're gonna look up for, that like their outside beauty is what matters the most. And then that goes into his like second idea of like possession of wisdom over material. What are we really saying with plastic surgery, like about ourselves, that our external beauty is much more important than like what's in our brains, or even like our attributes that we possess are not like good enough, that they need to be changed. So I really liked Aristotle's idea of possession of wisdom over material with this. And if he was alive in this day and age, I feel like he would also agree that this is not okay with how it's kind of affecting like young women's minds and society in general. And lastly, through the lenses of Kant, I love his idea of categorical imperative. What if everyone did that? What if everyone got plastic surgery? Like, what would society look like as a whole? We would honestly just be like a bunch of like fake human beings. And then that comes into the idea of the I think I'm saying this wrong, Kantian respect, that we're not objects, that we're much more than that. And I feel like altering your physical appearance like that is kind of like subjugating you to like almost an object, something that could be physically changed like that. And then his idea of a moral duty. So the duty that serves no other purpose than carrying out goodwill. I'm not saying people that get plastic surgery have bad intentions, but is it really carrying out anything with goodwill? Like, what is it setting? It's kind of setting the standard that, you know, if you're not happy with your physical appearance, that you can change it. Or it's setting the idea of your external beauty is what's most important, instead of like an idea of like goodwill or wisdom or anything else. It kind of just makes everything very physical. And I feel like that's why plastic surgery, even though I feel like it's gotten more normalized now, is still very controversial. Not just with the, like, there's so many different effects of it also. So from this article, actually, from the National Library of Medicine, people get nerve damage, sensory motor loss, infection, scarring, blood loss. And most of the time, people aren't even satisfied. They end up going more and more and more. So is it really a problem that's ever being fixed? So, yep, that is my elevator pitch on plastic surgery.